Hello, everybody. My name is Kashi, and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Last time, we did a little bit of snooping in the studios and got some evidence in the form of a picture, as well as I think her name was Penny, as well as Penny stating that she felt an outside force. I don't think that had anything to do with spiritualism, but who knows? Now, we are going to be picking apart the witness testimony of Miss Oldbag, and apparently that is actually her last name. We are going to press and poke and prod everything. Okay. Whippersnapper. Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Okay, I'm sorry, damn. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. Youth today is always whining about each other. It's enough to make an old lady cry. Mr. Wright, don't give her an excuse to talk. Please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. I'm not going to question you on that for once. Trip and fall. Trip and fall? Okay. If he did in fact trip and fall and got hurt at work, why were they still going to have rehearsals later? You would think that with such a high impact physical job like this, you would think that there would be some kind of legal write up, maybe, workers' comp, taken to the doctors, taken to the clinic. I don't know, maybe someone who works first aid? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. Okay, but did you chart that? You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Granny, my hand hurt. Shut up. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. What did he break? He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. You mean the murder weapon, right? His samurai spear? The murder weapon. Yeah, the synopses today are firing. Hell yeah. Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. Okay. So wouldn't there be a note? Like, wouldn't there have been something stated like, the spear broken but fixed with duct tape or something along that lines? This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down on the court record. Okay, so yeah, we did have to update it. Good. Again, nothing. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. I don't know. I've both sprained my ankle and broke it to the point where I needed, obviously, an ankle fusion. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where is the steel samurai costume now? Um, hmm. Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Hmm. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I don't know, when I looked at the picture, it kind of looked like the pants were too long. But I don't know if it's just the kimono pant style. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably an actual name for those kind of pants, but too lazy to look it up, like most things. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. Hmm, the defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else, not caught on camera, could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Keep wagging your finger at me. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go to the studio before them was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Hmm. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. We're not going to press on that because we know it was 2:30. Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. Look how friendly they look. I bet you they were pals offset. Just two big buff men having lunch together. I support that. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. You're telling me no one could just climb that gate? Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen. No, you wouldn't! Because you weren't there. Are you sure? Oh, Edgeworth. The witness has answered the question. Dick. Anyone going to the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. All I can think of is that meme. So edgy. Such an edgy boy. Who has a controversial opinion? That's you. Okay, I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. E- Edgy boy? Old Windbag sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Alright, the time of death was 2:30. We know that because of the autopsy report, but we're just gonna poke and prod a little bit more. How do you know that? Eh, didn't I just explain? Alright, so I'm going to explain. There's some footage that's missing from earlier that I purposely deleted because I took too big of a bite of edible, thought I was okay, and if you guys have ever done edibles before, you know sometimes you're okay is actually you just zoning out. And so there is just footage of me mumbling something I think is really witty, going back, listening to it, and being like, I'm I'm sorry, that was very much not English. Are you okay? The answer was no, probably not. But I just took the best nap of my life. I am back and I'm recording. So yes, old bag, explain it to me again. I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. One of these days, I'm gonna accidentally click on the attorney's badge. It'll be like, hold it, look at this. And everyone's gonna be like, that's nice, Phoenix. Way to go. The fuck does this have to do with the case, though? And it's just like, nothing. I just wanted to show that I got a badge. And it's shiny. Alright, can I present this? Definitely didn't present that card key. Nothing happened. You can't prove it. Let's see. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Alright, we need to figure this out because clearly we need to present something because we have already pressed and prodded everything. I just need to figure out what I need to present. Hello, Kitty. Are you going to help me solve this case? I realize I've already met my goal of getting 25 subscribers, so be ready for a post soon of a picture of Kirby, who is a delightful baby when she is not being a little spicy. Alright, Kirby, we have evidence. What do we want to show her? Should we show her nothing? Should we hold our cards? Hmm. We've already presented the photograph. No one else went there. I don't see my oh shit meter going down, so was that good? Or is it just gonna give me the same thing as before? Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyways, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Ooh, if you wanted to work the studio, we might have an opening. You don't like me though, so why would you want me to work with you? Unless you want me to be an underling. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Rabble, rabble, rabble. Order, order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Yeah, because there would have been more than one photo taken because both of them supposedly went there. Ugh, you watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Bowers. But the camera on the gate fired it twice. That means 2 people went by. And you need 2 people for it to be a murder or it becomes a suicide. Well, yes, and that's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help. Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Oh, you're lying, you just don't want to help her. Hush. Hm, some help you are. You're a whippersnapper, too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldback? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Yeah, of course you did. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. Rabble, 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 rabble. Too old for this shit. I see. Your testimony, please. This judge is sure hell a lot more lenient than I would be. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera and check them. I throw any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Of course you do. I find after getting called out on bullshit, I too remember things. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. I have the Alzheimer's. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Alright, gonna question the hell out of everything. Another job? That's right, I check all of the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes. Do you back up all of the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. Go on. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out. Let's question that. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Hmm, a fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. I mean, fans of anything can be real freaks, so I mean, that checks out. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. And you didn't think to mention? Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. Oh, yeah, we found that. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Yeah, that checks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. So when it comes to whippersnappers, what is the cutoff? Is it like anyone who's a few years younger than you is a whippersnapper? Anyone under the age of 30? Like, what is the differentiation between a child and a whippersnapper and a grown adult? Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably second or third grade. What? Oh, order. Order. Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about second or third grade. Wouldn't you have called his parents? Oh, yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in second or third grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. He could have seen something. This court will take a 5-minute recess. Just like the child. Go play. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes. Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should have taken better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want a Steel Samurai costume. Fanboys, collectors, scalpers, what? So, where does this leave me? Well, you're still beautiful, we still love you, and we're still gonna help you. It doesn't look good. Sniff. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. That's my girl. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. I mean, if worse comes to worse and you go to jail, I think people will leave you alone. In fact, I don't think you'll be anyone's bitch, but you could probably get bitches. Ramble, ramble, ramble. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this murder. Ramble, ramble, ramble. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. Really, because you were doing that to me a few episodes ago. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Definitely not sweating and saving real quick. Okay, new theory. Grade school boy snuck in, was really excited to play around with the samurai stuff, snuck into the other studio, was playing around, and accidentally killed the other guy. Probably very much not what happened, but who knows? Adding to that theory, perhaps the security lady knew that the kid did it, didn't want him to be ruined for the rest of his life, so she covered it. But that's just a theory, and it's very out there. But we're going to see if that theory pays off. Was a grade school boy. Yeah, I saved right before that. It's fine. You can tell me I'm stupid. Yeah, we're just gonna cha-cha real smooth out of the way. I don't care if anyone thinks this is cheating. Okay, grade school boy. I will take that on the chin. I'm a dipshit. You know, the security lady could have deleted the picture of herself. I want to try this option. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Oh, the Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Oh shit, you right, Phoenix? Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through? There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. It was the assistant girl. Ramble, ramble, ramble. Order, order. Is this true, Oldbag?
Old bag. That's Miss Old Bag to you.
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. You ugly. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. You get a gold star on the Noodle chart. Oh yeah. Right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Give me that sticker. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objection at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy. Don't just sit there. Do something. I will. It's called therapy.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? I'm gonna press a little further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Wimbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade school, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10-second stops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? My opinions on the matter is I will tell you in the next episode. So, everybody, as always, keep it salty, keep it real, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.